What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV. This is a conversation because I am behind the wheel right now, multitasking as I always do. But I wanted to talk about something because I heard that Funky Dineva pretty much, came out to refute on behalf of Maurice from Love and Marriage Huntsville the time that he was booked because it was reported that his DUI arrest happened around noon. And I was wondering, who in their right mind is out here, even though we know people do it. Like if you drive, you see beer cans on the side of the road, bottles, all of that. So we know people do drink and drive. It is definitely dangerous out here in these streets. So y'all, if y'all ain't praying before you get behind the wheel, I don't know what you are doing because it's treacherous out here. But you don't usually hear about people getting arrested for DUI around that time. Usually that happens late at night or early in the morning. It's usually when the sun is not shining. So I was talking about that before and I was like, hmm, was it a DUI for some other substances? Because driving under the influence just means driving under the influence of something that is intoxicating. It's not always alcohol. Now, I've heard some people say, yeah, it definitely was alcohol. It doesn't really matter because anything that someone is driving under the influence of, even there's medications where you get a prescription and it strictly states on there, do not drive while taking this medication. So, well, we know that is not in his case, but I'm just saying there's even prescription drugs where you're not supposed to be driving. But I digress. You rarely hear about people getting arrested for a DUI around that time of day. So I heard that Funky Dineva came out to state that, yeah, actually it happened 4 in the morning. I'm not buying that. And here's why. I'm just going to tell you just like this. And this is my personal opinion. I don't believe that Huntsville, Alabama's police department is so insanely busy. Okay. And their book, even though it's looking like a lot of the people that have been on the show have criminal records and have had a mugshot or two. Okay. And so they might have been keeping them, a little bit busy, but I don't believe that they are so busy that they have so many people booked at one time that they're not getting around to doing these records until hours, many hours later after someone has been booked. I don't believe that. So we're supposed to believe on one side, we've got the Huntsville, Alabama Police Department's police records. And then on the other hand, we have Funky Dineva. Okay. In representation of Maurice Scott. I don't think that I am going to believe those two over the Huntsville, Alabama Police Department. And that's not to say that all police are upstanding. That's a conversation for another time and another day that I'm not even going to have on my platform. But listen, the other reason why I don't buy that is, listen, years ago when Funky Dineva used to do his Love and Marriage Huntsville reviews and I was watching the show back then, I'll be honest, even though I was watching the show back then, I was more in tune to his reviews than I was to the show. So I was kind of watching the show on autopilot. And that's one of the reasons why I said, even though I'm not going to be watching this new season and I stand on that and give it, I'm not going to add to the ratings, I am going to go back to the old episodes because I do believe that there's things that I missed that I want to go back and see and touch on. That's a decision that I made. But I used to watch his reviews more intently and listen to his reviews more intently than I did the show. And I distinctly remember when he started reviewing the show, he was doing a little rundown on the people on the show. And he said out of his mouth, I love Kimmy. I really love Kimmy. I really want to meet Kimmy one day. This is what he said. Now, if I could find that video, and I don't have the type of time in my life to go scour through his old content to find that little snippet, but I remember, and I remember it like yesterday. He really loves Kimmy. So I feel that him coming out to say that on Maurice's behalf is not so much for Maurice, it's more so for Kimmy. Because he really does like Kimmy and he sees her as one of his favorites on that show. So I just feel that he feels bad for Kimmy because he's already had Kimmy looking crazy out here when he said what he said about her, giving it up while she was going through cancer treatments, and a lot of people just were not feeling that, right? And when Funky Dineva was on TGIF at that time and they had Maurice and Kimmy on the show, Funky Dineva was trying, even Claudia was trying to get Maurice to say something different so that he won't continue getting his ass torn up out here in these internet streets. And he did not back down. He didn't. And Funky Dineva was trying to do that. So in my personal opinion, I feel that Funky Dineva came out to say the time that he was arrested was not what was reported because he's looking out for Kimmy more than he is looking out for Maurice. So yeah, when I heard that Funky Dineva was saying, oh no, actually he was arrested around 4 a.m., not noon, that's a huge gap. And Huntsville Police Department is not that busy where they just didn't get around to doing the records and they said, oh, well, let's just go ahead and put noon instead of 4 a.m. when he was actually arrested. Okay, because people know that it just looks crazy that he was arrested around noon when they had the down to the bar at Black Cigar Lounge the night before, and he is arrested the next day around noon in the same clothing that he had on at the party. So it's like you were doing the walk of shame, okay, from someone else's house, allegedly, from some hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, Airbnb, allegedly. Like, that's what a lot of people are speculating, and it can kind of look like that, seriously. So listen, I really don't care. I was just saying that I believe that Funky Dineva was trying to clean it up a little bit for the sake of Kimmy, because he admitted that Kimmy was his favorite. I don't have an issue with him having Kimmy as his favorite. People can like whoever they want to like. So that's not even my care or concern. I just truly believe that that was something that he was trying to do because he feels bad for Kimmy and he really likes Kimmy. But I believe the police report over the word of a vlogger about the time that Maurice was arrested, because it never should have happened in the first place. It's just extremely irresponsible. And for this man who did this video on his Instagram or wherever he did it to warn vloggers that they need to take videos down and issue an apology to him, never naming a name, even if he didn't know their real names, never naming the name of the channel. But first and foremost, that's not the way to go about doing it. You have it done in a professional way, especially since you're supposed to be an attorney. You would send a cease and desist letter, and that is something that can be done via email, period. And so I don't have any sympathy for him whatsoever. I feel like he was probably trying to shrink his troubles away for the moment because he was countersued for millions of dollars. Didn't anticipate that because he probably felt like these were just some low class whatevers that don't know nothing about the law and don't know nothing about, lawsuits and whatever, and that they would just roll over and take it like Kimmy allegedly was doing. Listen, I don't know, but you let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks guys so much for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.